Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm NBG. Today I just have a few things I quickly want to go over. First of all, I had just woken up, so excuse me for being super tired, but I just woke up and I saw a WoWhead article, so all credit goes to them. I'm just spreading the word basically. I'll put it up on screen right here. It looks like the Darkmoon Fair is back, and in addition to increased reputation, the professions are also giving profession skill and knowledge. So that means on all of your crafters, it is absolutely a must to head over to the Darkmoon Fair this week and get whatever quests done that give this profession skill and profession knowledge. 2 profession skill, 3 profession knowledge, and 15 metal. First, I think that's a bit much. I think that's kind of a lot. But at the same time, well, I guess I know what I'll be doing today. So anyway, spreading the word, you must get to the Darkmoon Fair on all of your crafters and do these quests if those are really available over there. Today, I also have 2 other things I want to talk about. I want to revisit our shuffle because I'm getting questions every day because everybody's been so kind to watch that video and comment and like and do all those things. But I'm still, is this still worth it? Is this still worth it? We're going to discuss that again. It's been a couple days, so we're going to look at it. This is something that, depending on when you look at it, it might be worth it to you. It might not. It's still making gold. It's not making 180k anymore, but it is still making gold. And then we will also talk about another method that I've been using to make a lot of gold. So a little bit late to the party to share this, however, I still think it's going to be good for an extended period of time. I look at this a little bit like I look at the level 50 gear in Shadowlands or like the fresh level 60. It's gear that you're just going to keep restocked and you should be able to make profit on. The profits are coming down for sure from what they were, but it's still very, very, very worthwhile in my opinion. And what gear am I talking about today? I'm talking about the combatant gear, which is the starter PvP stuff. So what I usually do, so first of all, let's look at the plans. So here you go, on my server and everything, you're seeing like anywhere from 11,000 all the way up. And what I end up doing is I usually go through and I'll just look at the cheapest ones. First of all, in the first few days, I was able to snipe a couple plans at like less than 100 gold. I sniped one at like 1,000. I've sniped them low. The most I've ever spent on one is like 25. And then usually anywhere 25 and lower, I've been double checking kind of to make sure I have it. In the first few days, what I would do is something like this, is I would look at, like, let's take this first plan, the Crimson Combatant. This is at 11,000 gold. So I would take a look at it. This is plate hands. I would then go over and look at the armor, and I would go to plate hands. I would look that up, and I'd kind of see like what the going rate was, right? Or at least early on, I would see how much competition I had. Now I have a lot of competition. It's a little bit different, but you might think, oh man, like 11, 12,000, however much gold that was, for that, and you're only selling it for like 5. Or technically, if you made it at lower tier, even less. Yeah, but all you have to do is sell a couple and you make your gold back, right? This is more of a long run thing now. Early on, you could have made money like straight up front. But now, if I can buy one at a good price, I'm crafting this kind of gear and I'm reselling it because it doesn't cost 5,499 to make it. It costs less than that. And you might think, well, why are people going to be buying this gear? It's only like 337. There's already much, much better gear. Well, as you can see when you scroll over this, it doesn't say the item like the PvP stuff, but when you go into it, you can see that the increased item level is 398 in arenas and battlegrounds. And I tell you what, I didn't think it was going to be so bad at the start of Dragonflight, but man, if you do not have PvP gear and you walk in there, it seems to be everybody's like already like 100 item levels higher than you, dang near. You get done questing, you have like maybe a little over 300 item level or something. You just jump into some battlegrounds and people are at like 411 plus when they're geared, or whatever it is, like 400 item level. You get stomped is what I'm trying to say. So this gear will still sell. Now, you can craft it anywhere like from like 337 up to 343. I don't think it matters what item level you sell it at. I do think 343 should technically be selling more than 337, but that item level only matters out in like the open world, right? Like if I go into this 337 and look at it, it's still 398 in item level. So people who are just doing this to PvP, you PvPers out there, listen to me. You do not need a 343 if all you're going to do is just go PvP and stuff anyway. You don't need it. You can buy this one for 3,000, save yourself some gold. It's going to have the same effect for you. Those of you who just want a nice boost to your overall item level, yeah, you might buy the one that's a little bit more expensive. I still try to craft them at max quality, but it technically does not matter if you're specifically getting these items for PvP. Long story short, as people start to level alts and gear starts to get more and more away in terms of like how geared people are compared to like fresh alts, I still think this stuff is good. I do. And to prove that, well, first of all, let's go back into recipes and take a look. Yeah, so I kind of just go through this like 11,000 up to here, and I kind of just read what they are. Actually, every single one of these I have, except for the plate, because I actually still don't have my blacksmith. It's something I'm working on. I feel like I'm going to be late to the party on blacksmith on what I want to do, but there's just so much damn stuff to do in the game right now. So anyway, I either try to snipe these, so like every time I come over to the auction house, I just type combat under recipes. I give it a quick search. I kind of see what's there. I've been doing this since like day 2 or so, trying to score a deal. Early on, when I was like the only one crafting things, it was working really well. But let's go ahead and take a look at like how much gold I'm making, just to show you that I'm not, you know, just pulling this information out of nowhere. So under my ledger, just taking a look at my revenue from like combat. If I go in here and type anything combat, I was also sniping plans at low prices and then just throwing them up there for more. You can see that the revenue is at 873,000 in the last 3 days. Granted, a lot of these are not going to sell at this price anymore, but like from this like 19,000 down, like a lot of these they're still going to sell and they don't cost that much. It's still massive profit. I'm not sure if this is accounting for how much I've spent on the crafting materials as well as the recipes, but I guarantee you I have not spent more than maybe 150,000 absolute most. I don't think I've spent that much though. I don't think I might not even have hit 100,000. So I mean, I have like 750k, let's say. Let's just take that number. At least 750k profit in just the last 3 days from selling the Crimson Combatant gear, and I just constantly restock it. That's basically all I'm doing. So still worth it. I still think it's going to be. The prices are going to drop down to this, you know, 3 to 10k range or something. You know, some of them may be less worthwhile on your server, but it doesn't cost this much to craft it, and that's the point. We're in it for profit, right? We're in it for profit. Do it. Stay on top of it. Hopefully you'll make yourself, at least, at the very minimum, just some extra income. Something else I will share, I didn't know if I wanted to, but the Infurious stuff in terms of the actual armor pieces, so the even better PvP stuff, which is something I've always planned on making. I talked about that in my original videos on the plans and directions I wanted to go. It was the stuff I wanted to look at. Those plans are starting to drop, and as you can see, they're like 100k plus, all the way up to 1 million, I guess. I believe you can just get these to drop from normal PvP. I'm not entirely sure exactly how they're dropping, but that one means if you're out there PvPing, you could strike it rich, especially if you got it and sold it like now. And secondly, for somebody like me, I'm looking to snag one of these that I like at a decent price and hopefully be one of the first people on the server who are able to craft it. Some of these things might be really good for those PvPers. Start at Season 1, having a big item upgrade with like a decent equip with these embellishes. I don't exactly know which one I would go for. Like this one's the best, but like just take a look at like the boots. Having reduces the duration of incoming crowd control effects by an additional 5%. I know it's only 5%, but that's still reducing crowd control for PvP. Sounds pretty good to me. Infurious is what you would type. You know, and I've been very much monitoring the situation on the Infurious patterns, and if I can snipe one at a good price and start crafting it myself, I will. The final thing I will point out today is specifically just on the shuffle. The shuffle still makes gold, right? It just depends on if you want to do it or not, and if it's worth your time. The Vibrant Shards, you know, I get a lot of comments about like the Vibrant Shard prices. Like Vibrant Shards are only 100, Vibrant Shards are only 80, Vibrant Shards are only, you know, 120 or whatever. that doesn't matter nearly as much. What you're going for is profit. It doesn't have to sell at 500 to make profit. It could sell at 50 gold and make profit. If these sold at 50 gold, but Wilder Cloth and the spools are both 1, like, you're making massive profit, right? Like, this does not matter what the price is. It only matters what price this is in comparison to Wilder Cloth and the spools. And also, again, I will say, again, yes, you can pull more profit out if you use the tattered, and because let's say at 20 silver I can make a spool for 1 gold. Why wouldn't I not make that for 1 gold when the spool is 3? Like, wow, that's like 1/3 the price, because it takes too damn long and it takes too much time, and that time could be then used into making more of the bracers and disenchanting them, and each of those disenchants of the bracers should net you more profit than the 3 gold that you're gonna, the 2 gold that you're gonna get there, over a couple goes. So anyway, what's hurting this right now at this exact moment at like 7:30 in the morning on NA is the price of Wilder Cloth. However, I know from my previous iterations and everything I've done, because I've done it a lot, is I know for a fact that right now, for me, it should be like the worst time to do it, but it's still profit is my point. And that's because at least what I've noticed the last few days is the vibrant will go up a little bit. It'll probably come down a little bit more, but it'll go up. And then the Wilder Cloth will drop a little bit, and then the spool will rise just a little bit. But it's really the Wilder Cloth. So when I look at this and I see 100 and I see Wilder Cloth here, remember it's 4 Wilder Cloth and 4 spools, right? Chromatic Dust dropping to like 13, like that hurts a little bit, but like that's not where your big profit's coming from. The way that you're going to get the most profit is based on how high the Vibrant Shards are in comparison to how low the Wilder Cloth is. That's everything. Because again, 4 Wilder Cloth to make it, it's a big difference if this is 10 gold or 11 gold. That's 4 gold per craft. If the spool isn't going to fluctuate that much, it's not going to affect it as much, as well as the Vibrant Shards can help increase it. So anyway, I'm not going to do the tattered. Maybe if the spool was like 5 gold or something, even 4, maybe you can start thinking about it. But you're not like in like 10 minutes of unraveling or something, you do not get enough spools. Maybe if you're somehow spec'd into it to get more or something like that, maybe you can justify it. But all the testing I've done is, even at like this difference, it just isn't worth it. As the prices for Vibrant, Chromatic, and the spools and Wilder all drop and get lower, this will become more worthwhile. But my point is, your gold per hour will be lower if you do that. Your profit overall, like your gold per hour will be higher if you don't, but your profit will be higher if you do. So anyway, this right here, just because of how much I've done it, yeah, these are getting kind of high. Is like, let's say if these are in that 1150 to 12 range, 1150 to 12 with Chromatic and this dropping right now, I would venture to say this might be only like 30k, 20, somewhere between 20 and like 25 and 30k an hour right now. Like it's definitely a lot lower than it has been, but it is technically still profitable. So this kind of thing that I do is I'll just come in here and I'll just buy X amount. Like I'll just buy some, have it on hand, and I'll do it like in between queues, or I'm getting up from my computer, so I just craft them and I'll disenchant them in a few minutes or something like that. Like, you don't have to like sit here and do it straight an hour. You can be like, oh, I have 20 minutes to blow or something like that, and you just do little bits and make that, I guess at worst case scenario, somewhere around 10k profit or something in that 20-minute period plus. Like, I just do it like that. I take little small increments and I just make little small profits, because also small profits add up. So anyway, I just wanted to share, yes, it's tanking. Yes, it's tanked hard. There is not a tremendous amount. And if you're like, wow, 30k isn't worth it for me, I can make that anywhere else in an hour, by all means do it. Right now, it's more of just a supplementary thing to guarantee profit. So anyway, just thought I would share. It still works. It's just not nearly as good. So alright, and that's today's video. Sorry I didn't have a really nice shuffle or anything to share with you. I have tried a couple things. I tried some stuff with some smelting that was very luck oriented and a little bit hit and miss. Um, you also have to spend a lot to be able to do it, and it's not a huge guarantee on how much you're going to get back. So I haven't wanted to share that because it just hasn't been like something consistent, like and easy, like doing the shuffling with the bracer still. So I've been working on that, and then I had another shuffle through leatherworking I was working on, and that one died, and yeah. So I've been looking around to see what I can find for gold making, but right now those are my primary methods of gold making. As I'm working on professions, getting things up and going, and trying to position myself for the future. There's certain crafts and there's certain things that I would like to be able to do, especially with the start of season 1, that I would like to be one of the first people to be able to offer, that I'm getting ready for. So in terms of the shuffling and stuff, I'm not really looking that direction right now. I'm kind of just getting the progression on my professions to set them up. But I'm still looking, I'm still trying to find things. Again, found a couple, it's just not worth sharing yet, or right now at least. And my primary methods of gold right now have either been that shuffle if I really need to. Granted, the profit's down a lot, so I probably won't be doing that today more than likely. And then as well as the combatant gear, which is still making gold for me every day, so I'll keep on doing it. It's no issue there. So if you like the content today, please sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what I can do better. Let me know what you would like to see. Thank you for all the support and all the questions and comments and people in Discord. It's been great. I love it. It's fantastic. We're growing. That's the goal. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And do not forget Darkmoon Faire. Apparently, I haven't run out there yet. That's the next thing I'm going to do after I make this video. But if the quests are really giving two profession skill, 3 knowledge, and 15 metal, holy crap, that is not just important, it's mandatory. Get your craft out there, get your crafters out there to the Darkmoon Faire, and get that done. Alright, thank you. I will see you guys in the next video.